This tutorial demonstrates how to perform predictions using a random forest trained for classification via scikit-learn. In order to perform this tutorial, the classification training tutorial should have also been completed. The data we use in this example comes from the QSAR group's biodegradation database as hosted on Kaggle. The dataset consists of over 1,000 molecules containing 41 unique descriptors, and the goal of the problem is to predict whether a molecule is biodegradable or not. A download link to the data can be found in the description. In order to upload data for predictions, we first click the Dropbox button in the left sidebar. This will bring us to the Dropbox page. We can then click the Upload button. Then, when the browser's upload window appears, we navigate to where we downloaded the file and select it for upload. If the upload was successful, the file will then be visible in the Dropbox. Next, we can create a new job by selecting the Create Job button in the left sidebar. This will bring us to a new job in the Job Designer page. First, we will give the job a friendly name, such as Python ML Tutorial Prediction. Then we will click the Actions button and choose Select Workflow. This will bring up the Select Workflow dialog. We then search for the workflow PyML Predict and click on it to bring it into the job. The job designer changes now that our Predict workflow is selected. The Materials tab has now been replaced with a Dataset tab. Just as the Materials tab shows a preview of the materials the job will use, the Dataset tab shows a preview of the dataset once it is selected. To select a dataset, click the Actions button and choose Select Dataset. This will bring up a Files Explorer containing all files presently on the Dropbox. Choose the dataset we uploaded earlier. A preview of the data then appears on the Dataset tab, indicating that the data has successfully been loaded. We now have our machine learning workflow selected and our dataset has been supplied. Select the Workflows tab and we can see our Predict workflow. We can see two sub-workflows here, Set up the job and Machine learning. The Set up the job sub-workflow contains instructions to copy in the trained model as well as the data we have selected. A word of caution, however, the Set up the job sub-workflow has been automatically configured during the training process and is not intended for modification by the user. Changing it can render the Predict workflow inoperable and can lead to inaccurate prediction results. Don't modify the Set up the job sub-workflow. The machine learning sub-workflow contains the individual steps of the trained model we created previously. There is no further configuration required. The workflow has already been trained and the prediction job is ready to submit. Click the check mark in the upper right of the job designer in the header menu to start the job. We now return to the Job Explorer page with the job in a pre-submission status. We can now run the job and wait for it to complete. After a few minutes, the job will complete. We can then visit the job's Results tab where we will see a CSV preview of a file called predictions.csv. These are the row-by-row predictions generated by the model. Under the hood, this file is generated inside the Model Train and Predict unit. This concludes this tutorial on predicting with a random forest for classification using scikit-learn.